All right, so that's your friend, your partner in crime, yep. Stephen A. Smith. You know how he is, right? I mean, what is you know what this city feels like right now. That was a punch to, well, actually more. It was more of a kick below the gut, if you know what I mean.
Below the belt line.
What is your sense of tonight?
There will be an urgency tonight that we haven't seen felt in Madison Square Garden and beyond that. I mean, these sort of watch parties and looking like, you know, Times Square on New Year's Eve in Manhattan. It's really cool, Greeny, even as somebody who has never lived in New York but has spent, oh my God, so much time here over 44 years covering sports and seeing the Knicks when they were relevant, the Patrick Ewing Knicks when they were relevant. But they have to win this game. And I think the Knicks will respond. I don't think they're weak-minded or fragile. They're not. Now, we can wonder that about Minnesota because we haven't seen that group necessarily prove it, although this group of Knicks hasn't done it collectively.
Yep.
But individually, Jalen Brunson has won championships, for those who forgot that he was at Villanova.
Sure.
And he's leading that group. And whatever you want to say critically about Tibbs, I guess you can. You can talk about rotations. You can talk about lack of offensive creativity. But you're not talking about toughness mentally. So I expect the Knicks to have responded already, Jay Will, yesterday and this morning, and will respond tonight in kind.
You picked out a play that you think was sort of a perfect illustration of how the Knicks let that game get away.
Well, they just had so many miscues down the stretch. And here's one defensively that Tibbs and personnel coming off the challenge, which they were able to get turned around, right? Like this is a moment, a stoppage in time where you have to get the personnel properly on the court. Look at this play, guys. You're going to be blown away. So time situation, 136, 135, 20 seconds left to go in this moment. And look at the versatility in the court. McBride, Hart, Bridges, OG, Mitchell Robinson. You can switch everything. 20 seconds, switch everything. Look at this situation right up here in this corner, okay? It's gonna be a little screen. Off this screen, what you're gonna see is a little action off this screen. Boom, he's gonna switch. He's gonna switch. He's gonna go right to there. Perfect, nice and easy. Watch it, Mike, watch that quadrant, okay? As the play develops, let's go slow. Ball gets inbounded. Oh, they switch, right? You see the switch. Now, great. If you're switching everything, now pay attention to what's about to happen when we get to this next part of the play right here. Dribble handoff. You're switching everything, right, Mike?
Yep.
You're already in it. You're switching everything. Now 19.7 seconds left to go in the game. Here we go. Switch. They don't switch. Why are you not switching? Why are you not switching? Why are you not switching? Rotating over from the weak side. Boom, dunk. They're up 3. Those kind of miscues. Stop.
人がいて暮らしがある。そこには必ず思いがある。大切を形に。東芝ライフスタイル。
That can't happen, Mike. That can't happen. And by the way, when you have that much stoppage in time, who's bringing these guys together? Where's Tibbs saying, yo, switch everything?
To some degree, and we can get Winman, I'm told we have him back here in OKC. We were talking yesterday about how Rick Carlisle pushed a lot of really good buttons the other night. One, going small late in that game, got them a lot, pulled Mitchell Robinson away from the basket, got them several open looks, uncontested looks at the basket late in that game, which you wouldn't expect. You demonstrated yesterday one of those that led to a layup. And
against probably the Knicks' best defensive lineup.
Yes.
So obviously they had counted, they'd already anticipated some of this, had their best defensive lineup on the court for what Carlisle was doing.
Winman, what is your sense of tonight's critical Game 2 Pacers-Knicks at the Garden?
Yeah, I thought the Knicks did a lot of things well in Game 1. I think most importantly, other than at the beginning of the game and the very end, they controlled the pace. And to me, who's controlling the pace is who's winning the fight. And the Pacers were able, to speed it up, but only after the Knicks built a big lead playing at their speed. I thought Karl Towns played arguably his best game of the postseason. He was able to be really effective against the Pacers defense. And Jalen Brunson was dominant when he was on the court, and when he was off the court, the Knicks did well. I thought when he went to the bench with foul trouble, that they were able to extend the lead at that one point. And I don't think they were really stressed out by the Pacers' speed until the very end. So the Knicks have some stuff to build on going into tonight.
I was going to say also, look, they have to pick people up. The point of attack has to be higher for three-point shots in those kind of game situations at the end. I think the Knicks are going to actually beat up on Indiana tonight. I think the Knicks are a really good team. They can play fast. but you have to play fast in moments that are conducive to the way that you actually play.
And quickly,
they don't play like the Pacers fast all the time.
The Pacers are used to doing that an entire
all the
game.
Time. That's not the way
every
the Knicks
single game the Knicks are not.
Yes.
How much of an advantage, and we only have a moment here, but we can spend some more time on it, the advantage in depth that the Pacers have in that. This is a 53-minute game the other night, 48 minutes tonight. As it goes on, that depth becomes more and more important.
That's a question for Tibbs, right? Now you're talking about 8 men playing at least essentially 10 minutes a game versus 7 for the Knicks. Is Tibbs willing to stress that? His history, Jay Will, says no, that he's not going to do that. Let's see how, and by the way, we're talking accumulation.
Yes.
The Knicks have had tough series already against Detroit, against Boston. What is the accumulation of minutes and exertion, not just in one game, but over now 3 series?
And those defensive breakdowns were mental fatigue instead of physical fatigue. It was different.
The exact point Wendy was making before the series began, that Rick Carlisle was already looking ahead to games 5 and 6 and 7. We'll see. The Knicks need to win tonight, or we may not get any of those games. As we continue, you've got to be surprised by this. The King got zinged. The GOAT debate got a lot spicier, and it came from a very